Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Footstep Show. My name is C, and today we'll be talking about improving our healthy lifestyle for 2024. And today we have our guest, Dr. LOUISA QUAINOO. Welcome.
Thank you. See,
Yeah, so how are you doing?
I'm doing well by God's grace. Please, what about you?
Yes, so I wanted to know who is Dr. LOUISA and what does she do?
Okay, so I am a medical officer. I was trained in Ghana. I recently completed my house job and awaiting posting. Yes,
Nice.
I am passionate about taking care of kids and also research. So that's a little about me.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you so much. So when we're talking about improving our healthy lifestyle, what should we do in 2024?
Okay, when we talk about improving our health in 2024 or improving our health in general, it encompasses a whole lot of things. Physical health, mental
Yeah.
health, emotional health, even spiritual health. Yes, all these things come together to make up health. So when we want to improve our health in this year, we have to look at all these components. Physically, how active are you? Spiritually, how connected are you to your source? I'm a Christian, so my source is God. Emotionally, what are the baggages you have with you that you have to drop some off? Mentally, how are you taking care of your stress? Are you managing your stress properly? Or you're just carrying on a lot of loads mentally that are affecting you? So when we say improving our health, all these things come together to help us get a balance about our whole mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health and well-being.
Nice. Thank you so much. So, what are the
You're welcome.
sets or goals we should be take in 2024 for this year?
Okay, so to improve your health this year, if you are somebody who has not been actively taking care of your health, your physical
Yeah.
health, mental health, socially, and all that, you should start by doing small steps, baby steps. So you set goals, achievable goals that you can,
Yeah.
work towards. If you set unrealistic goals, you go back to, the same place you started from. So you start, if you're somebody who is now trying to be healthy or trying to live a healthy lifestyle, you start by, let's say, exercising physically, you want to exercise. You don't start by, okay, today I'm going to exercise the whole week. It's unrealistic because your body is not used to it. So
Yeah.
you start with baby steps. Maybe this week I'll go for a walk twice a week. It's achievable and your body knows it and your mind knows that it's possible. So, everything will come together for you to be able to achieve that goal. So, these are the steps you're supposed to take, baby steps and achievable steps, little by little, and you get to your target.
Interesting, interesting. Thank you so much. So, what are the tips
You're
in
welcome.
improving our healthy lifestyle?
Okay, so when it comes to tips, first of all, I'm going to start with physically. If you want to improve your health physically, you have to watch the food you eat because it's what goes in, it's what you take inside your system that comes out or gives you the outcome you don't want. That is the sicknesses, the illnesses, the stress, and all that. So, physically, you want to ensure you are eating healthy. You want to make sure you are exercising properly. You want to make sure you are taking care of your mental health. So, I mean, when it comes to mental health, there are a lot of things that come into play. Sometimes, people accumulate a lot of stresses in life. Stresses in life. You have stresses at your workplace, stresses at home, stresses in your personal life. You have to make sure that all these stresses are managed. And also, emotionally too, you have to deal with emotional issues. Spiritually too, you have to work on them. So when it comes to physical health, you have to take care of the food you eat. You have to stop eating foods like junk foods, taking care of, eating healthy foods such as whole grains, healthy proteins, reducing your fat intake, and exercising a lot. Like I said, baby steps. You start with baby steps and then you move towards that. So that's about it in a summary.
Thank you, thank you. So, what is I know it's very difficult when we always say every year we want to improve our healthy lifestyle. So, one of the things we wanted to know is how can we remind ourselves to drink more water?
Okay. Well, when it comes to the issue of water, the body needs water a lot.
Yeah.
The body is made up of about 60 to 70% of the 60
Mm-hmm.
to 70% of the body is made up of water. So, the body needs water to function. So, how you can, encourage yourself to drink a lot of water is that you set an achievable goal. It all comes to setting achievable goals. So let's say you know that as an adult, you're supposed to take about 2 to 3 liters a day
Yes.
of water. Even if you don't take any water at all, at least your 2 liters, they are supposed to have it with you. And then for a child, children between the ages of 4 to 8, they are supposed to take about 1.2 to 1.8 liters of water every day. And then from the teenage age going, they are supposed to target the 2 liters and above. So you can start by setting timers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at 8 o'clock in the morning, when I wake up at 6, I'm supposed to take about 500 mils of water. And then let's say after 9, I'm supposed to take this amount of water. After
Yeah.
12 p.m., I'm supposed to take this amount of water. So you set targets and times you're supposed to take your water. One thing that helps me is that I have a bottle, as you can see, this bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So what I usually do is that I fill it up. It's about 2 liters. I fill it up and then that is my water for the day. So I drink and then I make sure it's done. And then if I want to fill it up more, so you get some calibrated bottles you can use
Yeah.
to, check the amount of water you drink in a day. Some people use juices and then drinks in place of water. They are all good. They contain water, but they have certain artificial flavors and certain chemicals. You cannot replace water with juices. You need water. So I think
Mm-hmm.
making water a priority every day is very important instead of making juices. And you shouldn't wait till you are thirsty before you drink water. You set your goals, set a reminder. You can even have accountability partners. I do it with my sister all the time. She drinks a
Mm-hmm.
lot of water. I also drink a lot of water. So I ask her, today, how is your water going? And then she will show me her bottle, and then we can see that, oh, it's going properly, it's going well, it's going down, and then we fill it up like that. So accountability partners, it helps in, the way you take in water. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so my follow-up question, I know you talk about juices and replacing an artificial. So what can we do to reduce that intake to replace it as like water type? Because maybe we have juice because, and like you said, there's artificial ingredient inside that it doesn't really help. So what can we do to break that habit of not using juices as a replacement of drinking water?
Okay, so the thing is that, first of all, you should psych yourself up to know that water is very,
Mm-hmm.
very important and there can be nothing to replace water. The body needs water to function. And you
Yes.
should not wait till you are thirsty before you drink water.
Mm-hmm.
And comparing a juice to water, just sometimes you just pick up the cover or the bottle of a juice and just look at the ingredients and see the percentages and then the amount of the sugar and then the things the contents in it. You'll notice that most of them are not really healthy. So if you know that this is not healthy and water is good for me, water is neutral, you don't get, unless the water is not clean, but if you are getting water from a clean source and you are drinking it, you should know that this will rather help you compared to the juices. Sometimes we can get to a place you need water to drink, but you're not getting water to drink, and the only thing you have there is a juice or soda or a soft drink. That one, you can't do anything about it. But if you have water with you, and you have juice, you should go for the water first. It quenches your thirst, and then all the cravings for the juice, everything vanishes because the body has already quenched itself with the water, which is neutral and good for the body. So I think that's about it.
Yeah, so another question that I was thinking about that came to my mind is there a specific type of water we have to drink? Which one is the healthiest one? There's the tap water, there's a water bottle already there, and all these things come to play. So which one is the most healthiest way to drink water? We can drink the 2 liters a day.
Okay, so usually you should drink water that is treated. So
Yes.
any water that is treated and approved by your country is good water. It's clean water. In Ghana, we don't usually drink water from the taps because it's assumed, I don't know much information about it, but it's assumed that the water is not so clean, even though we use it to cook. When you use it to cook, you boil it and all that to kill some of the germs and all that. But drinking it is not so safe. So in Ghana or in Africa, when you are drinking water, it has to be treated water. But elsewhere, sometimes we drink water from taps and it is treated well. So if that's what works in your country or where you are, it's treated and clean, you can go for it. So there's no hard or fast rule concerning which water to drink. Once it is clean water and approved water, purified water, you can take it.
Great. Thank you so much for giving this information. So it's very important that those of us who are trying to drink water, we have to make sure that it is treated and make sure that it's drinkable and
Yes,
more healthier.
yes,
Especially those filtered
yes,
water here and there. So we have to make sure that it's
yes,
very important to have those kind of things so that we can avoid
yes,
those sicknesses. So
yes,
what happens, my follow-up question is, what happens if we drink
yeah.
untreated water, untreated filtered water?
Okay, that's what you said. Untreated water has a lot of
Mm,
germs, microorganisms, and all that. So when you drink those kinds of water, it gets into your system and begin to cause problems because you are introducing dirt or microorganisms into your system. So you begin to have all the diseases you can get from um, dirty water. Sometimes you can even have running stomach, you can have abdominal pain, you can have
mm.
abdominal problems, GI problems. So, that's what happens when you drink untreated water. So, it's
Thank
very
you so much.
important to
Yeah.
drink water that is well treated. Yes,
Yes, to avoid all these problems that you just mentioned. Thank you so much. So,
yes.
what are your self care practices and how do you prioritize them?
Okay. So, when it comes to self care, um, we usually talk about not just physical, but like I said, health is has to do with physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and all that. So physically, if you want my self-care schedule, what I do is that um, during the week I go for walks. And it's something we can all do. You can go for walks in your neighborhood. If you have a treadmill in the house, you can use it. You can skip. You can, if you have a bicycle, you can use it. Once a day, let's say within a week, if you want to skip, you can do about 200 jump ropes, and it's very good for your heart. So these are some of the physical things you can do when it comes to physical activity. Okay, when it comes to spiritual activity, you can connect with your source, which is God. If you're a Christian, you can pray to God, meditate on His word, and all that. And then emotionally, there are some people who have a lot of emotional baggages. What you do is that if you cannot deal with those issues, you speak to someone, you speak to an expert, a mental health expert, somebody who can coach you, somebody you can talk to, or somebody you feel free talking to, because you realize that there are certain problems when you are going through. If you don't talk about them, you stay in a very dark place. So when you get someone to speak to, someone you can share with, even if the person does not have a solution, and it's someone you can trust, it helps your mental health. And these are also good self-care practices you can incorporate into your own routine. And then you can also read a book. You can read a book a month. If you are somebody who does not like reading so much, You can read a book, let's say a chapter a week or a chapter a
Mm-hmm.
day if you like reading, or you can read a book a month. I mean, it's a very good self-care habit because it helps your mental, it helps your cognitive abilities. You know, there are a lot of people who finish school and then that is the end of it. You don't see them reading. All
Yeah.
they do is they're just on the internet scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I mean, the time you use for scrolling, it's good for you to take a book and read. Yes, sometimes too, I go outside, stand outside, enjoy the greens outside, the environment. It's
Yeah.
refreshing. These are all good self-practices. Okay, sometimes you might be going through a lot, but just going outside and seeing people and enjoying the breeze, the fresh air outside helps a lot and calms you down. So these are all self-care practices. And setting boundaries is also very important. It's a very important self-care tip or habit. Every person should have boundaries. If you have boundaries in life, they protect you so much. If you don't have boundaries, whatever comes to you, you take it. No is a complete sentence. So we should all have boundaries, and these all help our health. I mean, our mental health and emotional health. Imagine everybody is coming to you. You have things doing, but everybody is coming to you, and you want to be the savior of the
Mm.
world. You are going to accumulate a lot of stresses. And so you should find a way to manage your stresses. Yes. And then these are all parts of self-care tips you can incorporate into your
Thank
daily
you. Thank
habits.
you. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, so welcome back. If it's now you're joining us, you're welcome to join us and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Footsteps Show. Today we're talking about improving your health lifestyle in 2024 with our guest, Dr. Louisa. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So I know before we went on break, you were saying about managing your stress. Can you shed more light on managing our stress and why is it very important to do so?
Okay, so I mean, stress, if you go through a lot of stresses, or you go through a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stress, you can, if it affects every aspect of your life. It affects your, I mean, your academics. If you're a student, it affects your the way you interact with people. It affects your relationships. Okay, so you have to manage your stress well. Sometimes when you accumulate stress, you are not able to focus properly on targets. I mean, things you're supposed to focus on. The targets you're supposed to reach, you cannot focus on them well. I mean, for example, there was a time I was working in a certain facility, and there was a certain lady, I'm not going to mention her name, but she had accumulated a whole lot of stress from her personal life, and then she could not really function at work. She would come to work, and then instead of focusing on work, She was all over the place and she was not really active at work. So it affected her output at work. So when we are able to manage it, it helps so much. This lady was found out and then she was given someone, a mental health expert, a psychologist, spoke to her and then her stresses were managed and she became better. Now her output became better than how she even was working before her stresses came in. So our health, stress management is so important when it comes to our well-being. If we do not manage our stress well, it affects every area of our lives. That's about it.
Nice. Thank you. Yes, very important. I
You're welcome.
think, as you said, very important to manage our stress because a lot can happen. And I think, um, how do you call it? Mental health is very important. And, I think it helps to improve our lifestyles and
Yes.
everything. So, what are the tips to be healthy? What are the tips that we can have in order not to have all these issues, but like walking up? Is it very important to talk to professionals? How can we do all this?
Yes. Do you mean when it comes to stress or generally health
In
wise?
general, to improve in our health. Yeah.
Okay, so the thing to do is that physically, like I said, you have to eat a balanced diet or a healthy diet every day. And a healthy diet
Yes.
includes, good protein, good carbohydrates, good amounts of fats and oils, water, minerals, vitamins, and all
Hmm.
that. We should reduce the bad food we eat or the junk food we eat, the food containing high
Yes.
salt and then bad fats or fats and oils and all that. Something we can add to
Mhm.
our meals. You know, as Africans, we do a lot of cooking and we like a lot of oils. But if you are
Yes.
somebody who like putting oils in your food, you should look at the type of oil you use. Something I would recommend is to use coconut oil, avocado oil, flaxseed oil, olive oil for your foods instead of using, Africans, we really like palm oil a lot.
Yeah.
Palm oil is one oil you should reduce intake of because it contains a lot of bad, fats. So if you
Hmm.
reduce palm oil and then you reduce oils like vegetable oil, there's something called shortening vegetable oil. You should also reduce that one and also reduce corn oil. Okay, these are oils that are not so good for you. And then you should eat lean protein like fish, salmon, tuna,
Hmm.
chicken without the skin. These are all things that you can add to your meals that will really help your health. Okay. And then also exercise, doing cardiovascular exercises. If you cannot always be running around, you can do skipping. You can swim. Swimming is also a good exercise. You can be jumping
Yeah.
around a little. You can walk. You can use your treadmill at home. You can cycle. Okay, these are all good exercises. And also, when it comes to improving your health socially, you have to interact with people. You shouldn't always be in your corner. It's good to be in your corner minding your own business, but sometimes you need a little more social interactions to help your mental health, to interact with people, to see the world, to have different
Hmm.
views on life and all that. It helps your stresses and also helps your mental health. And then having a good sleep also helps you because it's when you have a good sleep, you're able to refresh. Your body refreshes itself, gets itself ready, and then, to face the world the next day and all that. And then also making sure that you are well hydrated. Well hydrated, like we talked about the water, you should be drinking a lot of water and then to refreshing yourself and all that. You shouldn't wait till you are thirsty. So these are some of the things you can do to improve your health. Also
Thank you. So I know.
going for
Okay. Go
regular
ahead.
checkups and all that. Sorry, also going for regular checkups. Okay, don't wait till you are sick to go for checkups. Be checking your blood pressures, be checking your sugar, be checking your, once a while. If you're a young person, you might think that these things are not necessary. You have to hit 50 before you go and check your blood pressures, your
Yeah.
sugars, your kidneys, and all that. No, Sometimes, I mean, you go to the hospital and just go for a routine lab, check your blood, do a blood work, check your kidney,
Mhm.
check your sugar level, check your liver, all these things. It's good to know it, especially when you have some history in your family. These are all things that really help you, yes, to improve your health.
Yes, I know you talk about it. You touch base on regular checkup. So my next question was, how many times do I need to go for a regular checkup within the year?
Within a year, it's recommended that even if you don't want to go for any checkup at all, you should go for one checkup. If you have the
Mm-hmm.
means to do checkups, you should do it twice a year. So if you go this year and then you check and you are fine, there's nothing wrong with you. The following year, go again and be doing it
Mm-hmm.
regularly. Every year, go for your checkup. So at least once a year should be good for you. But if you go and there's a problem, it depends on the doctor you are seeing that they can schedule regular checkups for you and then subsequent checkups. Yes. But for an adult, if you're an adult with chronic diseases, I would encourage you to be going for your checkups every 6 months. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're a young person or a person without any chronic illnesses, once a year is fine. Yes,
Yes, thank you, thank you. I think it's very important. It's very important. I think I go every year, once a year,
that's good.
because I think it's very
Yeah,
important. Even though I'm young, it's good that to
that's
know.
good.
Maybe you never know, because at work, many
Yes,
things can happen, and especially when you work in different
yes,
places. Like myself, I'm a daycare
yes.
teacher, so sometimes you never know that you might get something from the kids, and you don't even know. So I think it's very, like you said, it's very important just
Very
to have an idea and just
important.
to be routine and make sure that
Yes,
you at least go once a
yes.
year. If you have the means, twice.
Yeah,
If
and
you
I
can go
want
once,
to,
I think
yes.
yes.
I wanted to add something to it. The regular checkups, what we usually do is that people think checkup is just about going for your blood work, checking your blood pressure and your sugar.
Yeah.
No. Do you know dental health is also important.
Mm-hmm.
Going for eye screening is also important because there are certain disease conditions or certain chronic illnesses you have that will affect your eyes, will affect certain parts of your body. So if you are checking just sugar, you are checking just your blood and all that. If something is happening to your eye at the moment, you might not know until it becomes very bad. So when we say regular checkup, it's not just about going to do your blood work. Overall checkup, once a while you go and screen for your eyes. Once a while you go and screen for your teeth, what's happening. People wait till it becomes bad or they have serious problems before they go and visit the dentist. That is not healthy. It's all part of good health in 2024. So that's about it.
I like that you said that not only about going to see a doctor, but also mostly like optometrist, dentist, and other places. I think it's very important because, like you said, people think in their mind when you're going for checkup is just going to the hospital and see a doctor, but there's also other departments that we need to
Yeah.
visit to make sure that's very important to visit and make sure that everything
Yes.
is okay, right? So, why is sleep very necessary and very important for our health?
Okay, sleep is so important. I mean, it's very, very important. For a normal adult, you should sleep about 6 to 8 hours a night. I mean, some
Mm-hmm.
people might not be able to sleep 6 to 8 hours. So what you do is that if you are that type of person who does not get 6 to 8 hours and you get some time during the day, you should snooze. You should get some sleep or have some nap. Sometimes you may not even get a bed to sleep, but if you sit down and then you close your eyes, you are refreshed a little bit because
Mm-hmm.
going the body needs to work. The body works like an engine. So the more you go, it will get to a point the body will crash and it will
Yeah.
demand its rest and it might need the rest at a time you that might be very, very uncomfortable. So you have to stop at a point and then rest. Sleep is very important because it is when you sleep that the body refreshes itself. The cells in the body get up and then, rebuild itself, repairs itself again. It's when you sleep that the body is able to produce certain chemicals to be able to help the immune system. Okay, to help the immune system function. If you are somebody who lacks sleep or somebody who does not take a lot of time to sleep, you realize that all the
Mhm.
time your immune system is weak and you are easily, I mean, you get infections easily and then you get sicknesses easily. Sleep is very, very important. It also helps the
Yeah.
mental health when you're able to sleep. You see that it helps your cognitive abilities, your cognitive functions, because it's when you sleep that the brain is able to, the brain cells are able to refreshen, I mean, repair is very, very important when it comes to health.
All right. Thank you. So my follow-up question is that an adult can sleep over 12 hours within the day?
Some people do actually. Some people do, but it's not good because I mean you have to be productive. If you're always sleeping, that is how your body is going to, I mean, get used to. Your body is always going to get used to the sleep pattern. And there are certain things, even though I have mentioned the benefits of sleeping, oversleeping is also not good because you have to be active. You have to get a good balance of rest and activity. So sleeping for 12 hours is not good for your health. Unless you have been sleep deprived. Let's say you've done people who do night shifts continuously for let's say a week. That one, when you are sleepy, you know that you are sleeping for 12 hours. But if you are somebody who wants to get 12 hours every day for a month or a week, that is not healthy. And that is not good standard of living. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. So, how do I prioritize fruits and vegetables, and how do I always include it in my daily routine?
Okay. Now we know that fruit and vegetables are very, very important because they contain
Mhm.
very vital nutrients and then minerals and all that. So there are some people who do not like the taste of fruits and vegetables. If you are such type of person, then what you can do is that you can make it into a fruit smoothie. You can blend it and take it and make it like a smoothie. You add something to it to make it nicer. Okay. You can also make it appealing. If you're somebody who does not like fruits and vegetables that much, you can cut it up into nice looking shapes and sizes, put it on your table, and become visible so that when you are passing around your house, you can see it and maybe pick one. At least everybody should eat at least one fruit a day. It's going to help that much. And when you're making soups and stews and you're that person who does not like eating raw fruits or vegetables like that, you should add them into your soups and stews. Yes. These are the ways you can incorporate them into your diet. Every day you should try and eat a fruit. If you cannot do it, try and mix it up with something you can eat, something you like, or make it into a
Mhm.
smoothie. Maybe if you like bread that much, you cut the bread and you can cut slices of, let's say, banana or something and put it into it. You add your honey to it or peanuts, and it will taste nice because you don't like it. So you have put it into something you like. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, how many times a day should I eat, and what is the interval in between?
It's recommended that you should eat at least 3 times a day:
Mhm.
your breakfast, your lunch, and your supper. But realistically speaking, people don't have time to eat like that. So, what is important is for you to have your breakfast and have your supper.
Mhm.
Yes, because when you have your breakfast, you're able to get the body going because that is when
Yeah.
the body is alive, your metabolism begins, and all that. So, in the morning, you wake up, you do your morning routines, and then you drink immediately. You wake up, you drink some water, you do your morning routine, and then you want to have your good breakfast, a good balance, a balanced diet of whatever you want to have, and then you start your day properly. But if you don't have a breakfast and then you start your day just like that, they will get to a point where your body will need food to survive or to continue
Mhm.
working. And that is when you are going to crave a whole lot of junk. So you have to eat your breakfast in the morning, and breakfast is not limited to just cereals. You can eat anything.
Yeah.
Even in the morning, you can eat rice. You can eat something like rice and stew, and then you get your protein and add to it. Something good that can take you through the day. And even if you're not able to have your lunch, you can have your supper, which is also healthy. And you should have your supper at least by 5 p.m., you should have finished eating so that you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to go to bed in the night and then you have food, deal with all this indigestion, you're going to sleep. And it's advisable to have your food. If you're going to sleep, let's say around 8 p.m., it's advisable that 2 to 3 hours before sleeping you should have eaten. You should not have any food in your stomach within 2 to 3 hours of sleep. So that is the little advice I can give concerning that.
Yes. So my follow-up question is that, I know you said 2 to 3 hours at least you need to digest the food before you fall asleep. But what happens when, let's say, for example, I eat, but I'm watching TV, then I fall asleep? Should I, like, what will I let it digest, or what's gonna happen while I fell asleep while watching a movie or something?
Okay, the food is in your system, so definitely it's going to try and digest. But when you're sleeping, the body does not work. The body works when you're sleeping, but it's not as active as when you are awake. So you
Mm-hmm.
realize that sometimes when you eat and then you fall asleep immediately, when you wake up, you realize that you are dealing with you are bloated or you feel so heavy because the food has not digested properly. So that's what happens when you eat your food and then you fall asleep. Indigestion can take place and then you get up and then you feel so bloated and so heavy. But at that point in time, when you get up, you're supposed to drink some
Yeah.
water. And then, if you can walk a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, try and walk a little bit. That is not the time to pile up another food on top of it. Just walk a little bit, drink some water, and make sure
Yeah.
you're a little active so that the body can get working and starting again. Yes,
Yes.
that's about
So,
it.
follow-up question again. Can I take tea as my supper, or is mostly to be done to take it before like during the day?
You can take tea at any time.
Mm-hmm.
You can take tea at any time. But like I said, tea is also food. So make sure you're taking it at the right time and within the right intervals between your sleep. So if you're going to take tea as your supper, make sure you've taken it because it's liquid. We can give it, assuming you're going to bed at 8 p.m. You can take it like 6 or 5 or 7, and that's fine because it's tea.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are going to bed at 8 and you are going to eat banku or fufu at 7 p.m., you are going to wake up with indigestion. And
Mm.
that's going to be a problem because your body is going to store the excess. It's not going to digest properly, and the body is going to store the excess carbohydrates as fat. And if you continue this habit like that, it will get to a point where you're going to deal with a whole lot of fat issues and then obesity and all that. Yes.
Yes. So there was a
So
question
tea
by
at
one
the
of
right
our
time.
yeah. Yes, yes. So there was a question by one of our viewers, is that can my sleep, if I sleep, but can the sleeping less have an effect on my obesity, like becoming obese?
Okay. What sleep does is that, like I said, if you sleeping less is going to affect so many things.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to sleep, having too much sleep is not good. Having little sleep is also not good.
Yes,
So
yeah.
having a good balance is good for the body to function. If you have less sleep, it's going to affect your mental health. And there are certain people who react to mental health in a certain way. There are certain people who are stressed and then all they do is to eat, to eat, to eat, to
Mm-hmm.
eat. So when you have less sleep, what happens is that you are stressed out and then you begin to eat. And then it begins to you are accumulating all these junk food, and usually the food you crave is not even healthy food. It's junk food, junk
Mm-hmm.
food, junk food. You'll be eating a lot of junks, and by the time you realize you have accumulated all these fats within you and you are dealing with a whole lot of health issues. So having less sleep also contributes to having obesity. I agree with it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Another
You're
question
welcome.
by another viewer is that what is the importance of meal prep?
Meal prep is very, very important because, imagine you go to work. and then you come very
Mhm.
late, and then you are now coming to look through your fridge to look for what to come and eat. But if, let's say, Saturday, Sunday, you plan for, what you're going to eat during the week, you know what you are going to eat. You come and then you just pick, you've already prepared it in the fridge, or you have the ingredients just on hand, and then you take it and then you cook and eat. So meal prep is very, very important. It saves you a whole lot. You're able to sit down and plan properly a balanced diet. But if you don't plan your meals, or you don't prepare your meals ahead of time, and you are hungry and you get home, anything at all goes because you are hungry and you have to satisfy your cravings. So meal prep is so important. We should always have, even if you can't make a timetable, you should have ahead of, in your head what you want to eat, the healthy balance you want to, the healthy meal you want to have for the week will really help you. Yes.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. So, how do I
You're welcome.
routinely invest in my lifestyle for 2024?
Okay, so routinely in 2024, what you can do is that have regular checkups. And when I say regular checkup, I don't mean just regular checkups. What you can do is that if you are somebody with a very busy schedule, set reminders.
Mhm.
Make up your mind that, let's say, January, this is what I'm going to do. February, this is what I'm going to do. March, this is what I'm going to do. Like that. And then set achievable goals. These are things that will help you in 2024. What I usually do for people who don't have reminders and then forget about their health is that I tell you, look at your country. Let's say this year, January is Cervical Awareness Month. You are supposed to, you are a sexually active individual, a woman. January is Cervical Awareness Month. People talk about cervical cancer, cervical cancer. So it's Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. So what do? Go and screen for cervical cancer. These are all steps you can take. So if you're not somebody who remembers what to do for your health at any point in time, let these months and then celebrations remind you to take care of your health. October is what? Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Screen. Go and screen. Go and check your breast. Get somebody to check your breast for you. Okay. These are steps you can take or reminders you can get to take care of your health. And don't always be waiting till you get a problem before you go to the hospital. Like I said, go for screening or checkup once a year if you're a young person. But if you have chronic illnesses every 6 months, you should go and check your health. You should go for a checkup. Eat good fruit, invest in good fruits, invest in vegetables, invest in good sleep. When I say good sleep, I mean don't just sleep. Sometimes people stay in bed and they are not even able to sleep because they have not created the environment for them to sleep. Put off the lights. You know that when you have blue lights entering your room, you are not able to sleep properly. Put off the lights. Turn off your cell phones. Reduce your screen time and all that. You realize that you are able to have good sleep. Talk to someone. These are all ways of improving your health. Make sure you set boundaries. These are all ways to improve your. If you are tired, rest. Don't wait till you are stressed out and then they are rushing you to the hospital before you do something about your health. This is the
Yeah.
time. If you want to prevent chronic illnesses, this is the time to do it. Always make
Mhm.
sure you are hydrated. Drink a lot of water. We say it a lot. It looks like it's a cliche to be saying drink water, eat fruits and vegetables, reduce your
Yeah.
salt
Yeah.
intake, and all that. But these are things, little as they may be, these are things that really, really help and then prevent the large, large, large diseases. So that's about it.
Thank you. And your final message to our cherished viewers.
My final message is that, like I said before, your health is very, very important. You just have one life. So make sure you are taking care of yourself. Make sure you are prioritizing it. When it comes to health, people think that health is just physical. No, mental health is very, very important. We have a lot of people who are dealing with mental health issues, and that is because they did not prioritize their mental health. When they were supposed to say no, they did not. When they were supposed to take their time and rest and sleep, they were still overworking. Take your time, do your exercises, eat good food, sleep properly, talk to somebody if you can, and prioritize yourself. Once a while, prioritize yourself. It's good to care for people and all that, but you should also take care of yourself. Self care is very important, and connecting with God is also very important. Sometimes you might be going through issues you may not be able to talk to somebody about, but when you talk to God, you are fine. You may not have the solution immediately, but you'll be relieved that at least you have somebody who cares and loves you and thinks about you. So let us prioritize all these things. And then 2024 is going to be a healthy year. And then our health issues are going to reduce. So these are my last words.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Myself and the entire Footsteps show, I want to say thank you so much for
You're
accepting and being
welcome.
on our show. I
You're
know we all
welcome.
learned something new, and to make sure that we need to improve our health style for 2024 and for the more years, by God's grace, if we're still alive, to always improve ourselves and as a reminder. So thank you so much. We really do appreciate this. We are
You're
grateful to have
welcome.
you on our show. Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
also
And today, I want to
grateful.
say thank you. Yes. Thank you, thank you. So today, I want to say thank you to our church viewers for watching us today. We really do appreciate always following us, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. The Footstep Show. See you next time, and have a blessed week and a blessed weekend as well.